And then it's like, okay, now we're ready. Why isn't it happening?
Yeah, like we did everything by the book. We wanted to have a stable job. We wanted to have enough income to have security and have a house, have the relationship, the marriage that we have, and the support system that we have. And everything was ready. And then we're like, okay, where's the baby?
Yeah.
When is the baby coming?
Yeah. So what's the IVF process like? Because that's what you guys are doing, right?
Yes, IVF is, in simple terms, having a baby through science.
Okay.
So it's called in vitro fertilization. It's a process of injecting myself with a lot of shots to give me hormones, to grow my eggs.
Farming
In my
really
uterus.
Like farming
her eggs.
So every month you release an egg. But when you do shots, you farm like 10, 20, 30 eggs.
Yeah. Jeez. So the ovaries usually this big.
Mm-hmm.
They become like this big.
She's farming, they grow to the size of a grapefruit.
What the fuck?
Yeah, because one egg could fit in this, right? Like a ping pong.
Yeah.
Imagine then you have 15 eggs because you have 2 ovaries, 15 eggs on each side. Mm-hmm. And so each ovary, she was wearing my pants at one point.
Yeah, I couldn't fit into my own clothes. I looked like I was pregnant, but I wasn't.
Yeah, that's how big her ovaries like got.
Holy fucking shit.
And then you go under anesthesia, and then they surgically remove the eggs, and then they put it into a petri dish with his sperm, and they try to grow them into embryos. And then when they grow into embryos, you have to wait for day 3, day 5, and see if they're viable embryos, and then you transfer it back into me in hopes of implanting, and then you grow a human being.
Yeah, that's the concise version.
Jesus, that's fucking crazy. In my mind, I didn't know that it expanded or anything like that. I just thought it was like a little egg, like a little salmon roe. And then, you know what I mean? You pop it up.
It is. Because I think at maturity, it's like 20 centimeters. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's my bad, 20 millimeters. 20 centimeters is like that. 20 millimeters. And so, yeah, maturity, they're like little salmon eggs. So imagine you have 30 of them.
Mm-hmm.
Holy shit.
Right? It gets pretty big.
That surgical process, is that very painful?
You don't really feel anything, you just go under, but we had a really bad experience the first time. I almost died.
Really?
I almost died.
What in the fuck? What happened?
Well, you can tell the story because I wasn't in the room with her. I think I would have.
You son of a bitch.
I would have flipped out.
Okay.
They didn't let me in there. I was in the waiting room outside.
Okay.
I think I would have overreacted for sure, though.
So they put me under. Well, before they put me under, the doctor was like, "How is your alcohol tolerance?" And I was like, "I think it's pretty good because I think I'm like my dad. Like I could drink a lot without getting drunk." So I was like, "I think it's pretty good." So she gave me. I was like, "But I haven't drank in a while, so I'm not sure." And then she gave me a huge dose of, what do you call it?
I think it was something.
It was some kind of...
Some drug
to make me go under, but it was so strong that my heart stopped beating. And so you hear yourself flatline. And then I hear the doctor shaking me and saying, breathe, 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 wake up, breathe, breathe. And I was like my life just flashed before my eyes, and I was like, fuck, I'm gonna fucking die.
Yeah.
And then she was like shaking me, and I was like trying so hard to force myself to breathe. And then I suddenly started breathing again, and I could hear my heart beat again. And then after that, she's like, okay, I'm not going to give you any more drugs. We're just going to start the retrieval process. And I was awake the entire time. So I felt like pressure. I felt like really uncomfortable. And then that retrieval was actually very difficult because they didn't retrieve any eggs successfully. So it was a bust. So I went through all that just to get nothing at the end. And then when I came out to the waiting room and the doctor told me that she didn't get anything and that it was a failed retrieval, I just burst into tears. And I was just like, why does this keep happening to us? And I told him about what happened, and he was furious. And he's like thinking about suing her. He's thinking about taking action. He's thinking about so many things that could have gone wrong. And that was when we were like, maybe we should take a break. Because he told me, he's like, I don't want to lose you in this process of trying to have a baby.
Yeah.
So that kind of hit me, and I was like, that's true. Like, I don't want our marriage to be, in the place where it was, and going through all this and then risking my life to try to have this baby.
Yeah, it's the weirdest thing because it's like this thing that you're trying to work towards, but at the same time, you don't want to work towards.
Yeah, because there's such a high risk involved.
It's the ultimate price to pay. Like, is it worth it? Is it worth it? And I think at the time I was so furious, but at the same time, it was like she wasn't ready to fight.
Yeah,
because like she was devastated after that.
Yeah,
and it was like, wow, but I wanna do something about this situation, but she was like, she just feels so shitty, and she wants to like
just move on,
isolate herself, and like it's this weird balance. It wasn't like we were in sync at that time, because she just gone through what she's been through. And it's not only that, it's like the hormones too that you have to inject yourself with.
They make you crazy.
Crazy.
Oh, really?
Crazy. Yeah.
Just imagine PMS every month. I don't know if Mariel has PMS and she's
She does. Oh, she really does.
Just imagine what she goes through every month at the worst time and like 10 times that.
Oh, man.
That's how
and
it
it's not
makes you feel.
it's not that straightforward too. It's like, all right, so like when we were in China, I remember this vividly. Because, it's that time of month.
Yeah.
She's counting the days. She's timing the window.
Oh, yeah. It becomes very romantic.
And it's time, right? And all right, one thing about that, I think nobody wants to get here in their marriage where it's like, oh, it feels like routine now. It feels like it's planned. It feels like, oh, right now it's optimal, so now we got to do it. Doesn't matter what we're doing. We got to do this.
Yeah.
And so in China, there was this one moment where she was taking some medication for it, and it's the weirdest thing because she's like in the mood, but she's also in the mood to kill me. So she's like,
fuck me now before I kill you. Wait, what?
Yeah, so she's just like, hey, it's time. And then, and at this time we were
like
staying,
his Lion King and shit. Like, it is time.
Yeah, exactly.
Rafiki over here.
And then we were at her parents' place, so she's like, you got to get quiet though. And so her parents are like right next door in the other room. And then so all right, cool, like we're trying, and it's like she crosses over from in the mood to I want to kill you now, like
because you're taking
what's
too
taking
long.
so long, so.
It's fucking funny.
So as we were doing it, she's like, what's taking so long? And then I was like, I can't go any faster. Like, I have to be quiet. I'm conscious about that.
Friction, bitch. Do you understand? Where I'm trying to fuck you at like a fucking half a mile an hour. What are you talking about?
And then on the top of that, it's like, it's not our bed because I'm not used to knowing where it squeaks and where it doesn't. I'm like conscious about that too. And then she's like, hurry up.
Oh, yeah, that's going to make him come. God, Anna, what the fuck?
Because not only that, it was late. So we had stuff planned the next day. And it was like, oh, damn. I can't just hurry up. I can't just
And I was giving you the look.
Yeah, and like the death stare wasn't helping either.
And then he's just going limp. He's like, don't you fucking dare get soft. You better keep that shit rock hard right now.
Yeah, so that was like one of my first memories of us trying and trying to do it abroad and trying to, because we saw the doctor here, but we brought the medicine with us. And yeah, it's just, How
can you threaten him and fuck him at the same time and expect him to still be turned on?
It's a love and hate relationship.
It's like, listen, you're like enjoying it, all of a sudden you're just like, okay, I'm trying to have a fucking baby. What the hell, dude?
Yep.
Hurry the fuck up.
I'm like, we're not going to make a baby if you don't come.
Well,
You just have to make it happen.
It wasn't like
Well,
it was
it's hard to fuck somebody who's angry at them, just like staring at them with fucking anger and shit. You're not even blinking. Like, bitch, blink. God damn it.
It wasn't like it was an hour later. It went from like, I don't know.
You usually come in a minute. What the fuck?
A minute 20.
Yeah, so it was
a minute 20.
It was like, oh no, it's over a minute.
Yeah, a minute 25. Speed it up.
All you had to do was just fucking give him a hand up and right before you stick it right in real quick. Just go. That's so
Maybe
much
that would have worked better. Yeah.
That's so much pressure. It's like, holy shit, dude. Like I would just be clammy the whole time. It's like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah, you were thinking that, and it's like all the excitement leaves the room, and then you're like,
because the moment like Mariel, like let's say Mariel gets angry at me, all sex drive gone. I'm like, you are disgusting to me. Like, I'm like, you get the fuck away from me. Disgusting.
Sex drives out the window.
Yeah, just like she's just like, what are you doing? I'm like, oh, look at that, suddenly you're a dude. That's crazy. That's insane. You're a magician. You turn yourself into a man. Like, get the fuck away from me, lady.
You do get a lot of pressure though.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. I think like the maybe the difficult part, especially for you, is that situation where you see your wife almost pass away just because of it's like you're giving life to take a life, right?
Yeah,
and
pretty
like,
much.
It sucks because you see her going through this process, and it's also a cross that you can't bear for her, right? So you just have to sit on the sideline.
Well, it's tough too because I think we're on different pages. She's willing to do that.
Yeah.
To trade a life for a life.
Yeah.
My perspective is we existed before this baby is even in the picture. Mm-hmm. So I don't know if I'm willing to trade off and lose you to have a baby.
Yeah.
Because we have this conversation pretty often. He'll ask me, are you willing to risk your life for this, to have this baby?
Yeah.
And I always say yes. Because in order to go through IVF, to put yourself through that emotional and physical pain, you have to want it that badly.
Yeah, the risks are high for sure. It's not for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's that's something to think. I didn't even think about it like that, because I guess like I would be in your situation too, where I'm like him. Like if I had to lose, like I already told Mario, I was like, listen, there's a couple of options in this world. You leave me, I'm killing myself. You die, I'm killing myself. Because I can't start this all over again. Like, we've done this for 5 years. Like, are you fucking crazy? Like, I'm not going to find somebody else. Like, I even mentioned this to her, too. I was like, hey, if I died, would you get with somebody else?
What did she say?
And she goes, well, I don't know. Like, that's the future. I'm like, you fucking bitch. I was like,
where's your loyalty?
I was like, if you died, I would just stay single for the rest of my life. It's just too hard for me. It's just too hard for me to reverse
at
that
a certain
whole thing.
point, it does seem like it's just too much to go through again.
Like I'd rather, because I was fine being by myself before her, and she was the bonus in my life. So I could go back to being by myself, right? Like it's completely okay. I don't need to attach myself emotionally to somebody else and go through the learning process all over again. Like if you die, I'm done, bitch. Like this is it. Like I might date, flirt around, fuck around a little bit, but other than that, they're not coming to my house. Like this is still, to me, it would be still, this is still our house, right? Yeah. And would they be okay? Like I'm married to somebody else and I visit your fucking grave every year. You know what I mean? Would they be okay with that shit? Because that's gonna be a little odd for me. Because I don't know if I could do.